talent, ambition, intelligence. These are some of the words that can be used to define a business icon. These companies have not only achieved remarkable feats, but have also inspired countless others to strive for excellence and change the game. All this makes them worthy of the moniker of business icons. Team Marksman, in association with India Today, celebrated the visionaries who have taken risks, shattered glass ceilings, and redefined success in their industries. Team Marksman hosted the Business Icons 2023 felicitation ceremony in Mumbai. Filled with insightful discussions, the ceremony celebrated the remarkable companies for their outstanding contributions to the world of business. The proceedings were kicked off with an opening remark by Rajesh Khubchandani, co-founder, Team Marksman Network.
Whilst we were putting this together with our research partner, LeadCap Ventures, we thought we should identify leaders who are, of course, masters of the universe, are heroes whom we look up to, from whom we draw inspiration every day. Being a budding set of entrepreneurs ourselves, we are a startup, but we draw inspiration, we learn from what you all do, how you all run your businesses, how you all successfully manage your manpower, your top line, your bottom line. So there's a lot that we learn from you, what you do every day. And of course, there are leaders amongst us who have far more knowledge than I have today with you. And they will be sharing their knowledge, their wisdom with all of us on what makes them an exemplary leader and makes them a business icon of India. So I welcome you all, and I would like to thank you so much for your time, and let the discussions begin.
Most CEOs typically will focus on the hard stuff, right? But it's also said that some of the more successful CEOs and consistent performing CEOs focus on the soft stuff like the hard stuff. Do you really truly believe it creates a competitive advantage to business?
When I started my career at junior levels, I realized that IQ is what will actually take you and help you move very quickly. But eventually, as you become a leader and you have a big set of people working with you, you realize that actually EQ is what makes or mars delivery of your group and of the organization as well. For us, winning with consumers is very critical. And if you have to win with consumers, you have to be able to empathize with them. And only when you feel what they're feeling are you able to create winning products and create a perfect communication theme for them.
How do you strike a right balance between empathy and accountability in today's competitive workplace?
Both of these are important parts of an organizational cultural DNA, or successful organizations, right? I think the period we've just come out of, the pandemic, right? No other period has amplified the need for empathy more than this. And we saw the impact that had on organizations, on motivation levels, on inspiration levels, and how our teams went out of the way to deliver responses in COVID. So I think empathy actually is a crucial enabler for performance and sort of accountability.
What does your gut say? I mean, strategy is important, but does culture really make a difference? Is that more important than even strategy?
Well, I would like to say that a bit of a controversial thing. It has to be both. A set of strong cultural ethos forms the foundation of a great strategy, and the strategic elements have all, end of the day, drive the culture that you're trying to achieve to obtain your vision and mission and values and stuff.
So, Lingaraju, if I can get to you, how do you nurture that value, that spirit within the organization, down in the leadership team, so the company at large begins to start experiencing and feeling that culture?
I think you very rightly pointed out, right? I mean, it's not what you say, but what you do. I think that's at the core of how the new generation workforce is really looking at things across. It's no longer the posters and the boards that you put up across the organization, but whether you, in whatever form they see leadership in action, and how you behave, how you talk, what you engage makes a very important role. The generational workforce that we engage with today is very, very clear about the work that they do, the purpose of the work, and how it impacts society at large. So understanding that and making sure that you really live up to it, not in words but in deeds, are something that one has to do it on a day in and day out basis. And you can't fake it. So these are a few things that I believe are truly very important.
Right. So my initial part of the career in a manufacturing company, it was pretty much regulated, structured, top down. kind of well understood that there's a hierarchy which has to be followed. Then when I shifted in 2000 to the IT/ITS industry, it was completely different, right? Open culture, no cabins, right? And then you could actually have a junior team member asking you questions straight. So I think really what has happened over these years, and I use this term as itification. So manufacturing industries, which had a very different way of working, very hierarchical way of structured way of working, actually started becoming more open because they realized that having an open culture, it gives more results. Now, this is imperative because it is also a generational change.
To present each of you with this spectacular moment right here, I'm about to invite someone equally special. And the very, very charming Neelam Kataria. A round of applause. Thank you so very much for joining us here. What do you think are maybe the two qualities that any leader or any businessman today must have to be successful?
What does it take to be a leader? I mean, honestly, it's all teamwork. Today, where I am today, it's, of course, God's blessings. And if it wasn't for my team support, my family, none of this would have been possible for me. And yeah, I just feel everyone goes through ups and downs, got to be passionate, and you've got to be you've got to have this attitude of never say die, because keep at it and you will reap the fruits eventually someday. Thank you.
Thank you so very much for that. Please do put your hands together. And to accompany you here on stage, I'm about to invite one more very, very interesting leader. May I please present to you Mr. Akash Tiwari, co-founder, Team Marksman, joining us here. It is such a pleasure to have amongst us leaders. It is such a pleasure to have amongst us business icons. So I'd love for all of you to please be in here with all your spirit and more. A round of applause as Marksman Daily presents Business Icons of India 2023. Let's hear it up for Mr. Vipul Mathur, Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer, Welspun Corp Limited. Priyavarta Mafatlal, Vice Chairman, Arvind Mafatlal Group.
When you look at a group like ours, which have companies which have been operating, some for 100 years and some are startups which have started in the last 1 year, while there are differences in the lifespan of the business, they all actually are at an influx of growth, a lot of it to do with the way the country has progressed as well. So when we look at it from a diversified point of view, we encourage each of our companies to constantly push themselves for growth. And I think that comes from a very strong management team, a very strong vision. Your long-term goals are charted out, mixed with your short and mid-term, which allows the team, there's a lot of clarity given to the team about what are the expectations, and that gets percolated downwards for everyone in the team to actually have visibility of the shared goal system, which allows that push towards growth. And the moment you get that entrepreneurship mindset, it allows you as an individual, irrespective of what level you might be in your particular company, it allows you to look at the company as if it's your own, and you then are willing to take that additional amount of measured risk.
Up next is Mr. Amit Gosen, Managing Director, Kone Elevators India.
The thing about leadership is you've got many definitions. One of the main definitions is it's leading people and leading people to success. So for an organizational success, it's important that people think of success. Number one, they think of success and they think of success positively. To do that, the leaders must be inspiring. They must inspire the people to really think of that success and give them a direction on how to reach that success. Secondly, motivating them to achieve that success. Third thing, it's very important for a larger organization like we have in India, relatively larger, we've got about 5,500 people in India. So it becomes very important for all of them to be aligned, all of them to be curious, to keep learning, to achieve that success and have the courage to actually go for it and achieve that success. They might make mistakes in between. That's okay. And as leaders, we should accept that. A lot of newcomers, a lot of new learners, we should accept that they're going to make some mistakes.
Let's welcome Dr. Arika Bansal, Managing Director, Agenix Hair Sciences.
As founders, we should know that leadership is a very important skill and it's a learnable skill. So when we are doing our medical studies, we somehow are not coached into that leadership thing and we may not be having it inborn in us. So we first have to realize the need that we need to have leadership skills and it is a learnable skill. It's not something which you are born with. Once you know that yes, it's a learnable skill, you can work hard towards it. So as you asked that how the leaders can be resilient. So these are very, very trying times. There are a lot of pressures, there are a lot of external stimuli. So by working on themselves, by making a deep spiritual connect, okay, by being connected to themselves, by having their own me time, okay, by meditating and having a divine connection, they can gradually make that effort to evolve themselves. That will help them faring better in life with their employees, with their customers and taking their organization forward and making a larger impact in the world, I would say.
Next is Mr. K. Narendran Reddy, Chief Executive Officer of Natural Remedies. May I request all of you to please put your hands together for Mr. Gautam Bodha, Vice Chairman and Managing Director, JB Bodha Group.
First of all, thank you for honoring me with this award. It's been a great receiving, which means a lot. As an individual, I've been with the company for 30 years and achieving at the end of the 30 years, that means a lot to me. There are several key qualities that set apart iconic leaders from their peers. Firstly, an iconic leader possesses a clear vision and purpose that they passionately pursue. They are able to articulate their vision in a way that inspires others to follow them and work towards a common goal. They exhibit remarkable resilience in the face of adversity. Iconic leaders understand that setbacks are inevitable, but they do not allow them to deter from their objectives or vision. Instead, they view challenges as opportunities for growth and development, which strengthens their resolve and inspires others around them. Secondly, they have a strong sense of empathy and are able to connect with people from all walks of life. Iconic leaders have a deep sense of purpose that extends beyond financial gain or personal accolades. They are driven by a desire to make a positive impact on society by addressing significant issues such as poverty, relief of environmental sustainability. This sense of purpose guides their decision-making process and inspires others within the organization to strive towards achieving collective goals for the greater good. They listen to others' perspective and concerns and are able to make decisions that benefit everyone. Thirdly, they have a growth mindset and are open to learning and adapting to new situations. They are not afraid to take risks and embrace change, even if it means stepping outside their comfort zone. Fourthly, they are able to communicate effectively and build strong relationships with their team and stakeholders. They lead by example and are able to motivate and inspire others to reach their full potential.
Please put your hands together for yet another business icon, Sri Shyam Sundar Beriwala, Chairman Emeritus for the Flexi Strong Company, Shyam Steel Industries Limited.
I am accepting this Business Icons Award today on behalf of my grandfather, Shri Shyam Sundar Beriwalji. And the key traits that I think are relevant to any leader succeeding personally or professionally are the ones that I have learned from him. He's laid the foundations for our group, evolving from a small manufacturing unit in Havda in West Bengal to a 5,000 crore group today. And the qualities that he's always focused on are integrity, continuous evolvement, and empowering your team. And these are the three things that I feel are very, very relevant to running a successful business today, because you need to focus on the right team. You need to build the right team, without which you really can't scale beyond a point. You need to focus on the right qualities. You need to focus on the right values. You need to have integrity within your team, within your team's culture, so that all your business practices ensure that you are on the right path. And you need to continuously evolve in whatever manner, be it your culture, be it your scale, be it your processes. And that is the only thing that can take you to the next level.
We are a social creature. We must see the social responsibility in and around our factory, in and around our business, in and around all over country. Government has created the CSR procedure for 2% of the investment in CSR facilities, but we from the very starting, not in the name of CSR, but in the name of social responsibility, we have created the funds, we have distributed the funds, we looked after the areas where we installed our factories. Hence, the honesty, the non-giddiness of the business, the social responsibility, the best heat recovery, and the new implementation of the technologies are must for any industries. Actually, we have gone to the new brown industry, new brown technologies, new brown plant in our Mejia plant just now, which we started within 15 days or so, in which we installed the latest technology of the re-rolling industry, the latest technology of the furnaces, the arc furnaces, etc.
Very warm welcome to Ms. Jayashree Vedhanathan, Chief Executive Officer, BCT Digital.
The top 3 industry trends would be in no particular order. Work on strengthening your internal controls is going to be something that's key. As we see, the macroeconomic environment is shifting, and the companies that did not focus on internal controls were the ones that went bust. So a lot of focus on internal controls rather than relying on external agencies would be a key industry trend that we would look at. The 2 other industry trends that we should be watchful for is something that's a renewed focus on climate risks and what goes with what we call ESG, sustainability and climate risk. That's going to be embodied in our being. It's going to be something that even financial institutions look for, and it's the only way to do business. That's going to be quite key. I would say the third one is to focus on cyber and risk management as a whole. That is another area where if there's one failure, the impact is so high. So that is something that all organizations will be looking at with a renewed focus.
I request for all of you to please put your hands together for Mr. Dheeraj Arora, Chief Executive Officer, Hygienic Research Institute Private Limited.
As we have seen over the last few years, the world has been evolving, changing very, very rapidly, and more paradoxes emerging. In such a scenario, what the organizations need to do first and foremost is build a very, very strong team. A team which you will continue to enable, a team which you will continue to invest in for that to upskill and upgrade. And couple this up with a very high performance anatomy. That's the first and foremost thing that we need to do in the organizations. Second, see, over the last so many years now, there's been a trend that it's not only the largest who wins, it's not only the strongest who wins. It's the organizations which are adaptive, which are responsive, which are agile, that have been really taking the cake. And hence it's important that we build a very agile, adaptive, and responsive organization.
And with that, we come to the conclusion of the Business Icons 2023 felicitation ceremony. These were the companies that walked the walk and have cemented themselves among the who's who of the game. This has been Business Icons 2023, brought to you by Team Marksman in association with India Today. This event was conceptualized and brought to you by Team Marksman. Here's a snapshot of its marquee events lined up for the coming months. The second annual Supply Chain and Logistics Conclave will provide a rich knowledge platform for stakeholders to discuss best practices and highlight innovative use cases. The second edition of the Most Trusted BFSI Brands 2023 showcases beloved brands that have earned and trust the adulation of customers. Brand of the Year 2023 celebrates innovative brands that have demonstrated differentiated thinking in order to earn success. The inaugural edition of Team Marksman's HR Leadership Conclave will provide a comprehensive overview of the most effective HR strategies in the Indian context. Most Preferred Workplace 2023 puts trailblazing brands that have created best-in-class workplaces and work models in the spotlight. For more details on these upcoming initiatives, write to us at contact@teammarksman.com. Brought to you by Team Marksman.